Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Tuesday, January 10th, 2012 is sponsored by Realtick. Alright, let's get right into the mix. First off, target achieved, folks. That's the key here. I gave out over the last week the optimism that the market would be going to the 129.50 level. Sure enough, this morning, this line represents the 129.50 level. It was achieved. So again, markets hit this level. Since then, we've had a little bit of a pullback. Now, everyone else out there was talking about, oh, the markets are going to start to head down. You know, things aren't looking so good. Ultimately, I read the charts. I read them correctly, and profits were made as the markets continued to move up. If you take a look at the daily chart, take a look at this, folks. Again, you had to know the triangle pattern here, which was a breakout. We were hovering above the breakout zone. Therefore, the neutral to upside bias continued to be intact. Sure enough, there you go. Right to that pivot high, which is the pivot high going back to October 27th, 2011. That level was a hit today. That is short-term resistance. That is your first target on the SPY. Now, again, the big question is, are we going to continue to go higher? That will tell us, or we'll know that answer in a few days. Ultimately, what you want to see is what type of action do you see tomorrow after we hit this level? Do we start to sell off sharply? Do we consolidate and go sideways, which would be bullish? Or do we just gap above this level and continue to race higher? The upside target level, if you do continue up, is going to be right here at the 132 to 133 level on the SPY. Now, my gut tells me there is a little bit more upside in this market. That's what my gut is telling me, folks. So, again, I will keep you posted on it, obviously, but right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more upside. Now, bottom line is, as long as you knew the market was going to go up based on the chart patterns, which we were reading perfectly here at InTheMoneyStocks.com, assuming you're a member here at In The Money Stocks, or in the very least, a free trial member, you positioned yourself accordingly and made money here. Let's take a look at some of the stocks that were profited on today. First off, you have to take a look at Himx. Himx, I gave out last week at a price of $1.01. Today it hit $1.20. Obviously, a January effect play, which is utilizing the tax selling nonsense from December to keep the stock down. Once that's over in January, this stock would turn up. It pays a 10% dividend. 10-11% dividend by itself. It's profitable, trading at $1 a share. That right there is telling you it's got upside potential, and it probably will continue to go higher. All right, but ultimately, that was just one of the many plays in the research center that continues to outperform. All right, now I gave some stocks out in the intraday stock chat today. We rocketed through these, made good money. STP was one of them. I gave out STP right here at the $2.44 level, right there, and I took profits at $2.54 right here. Okay. So right there, that's a dime on a $2 stock in the intraday stock chat. I had myself 15,000 shares, just like that. All right, so again, it's just a matter of profiting here and utilizing it correctly, making money, and doing the right thing, reading the charts essentially, and the money will flow to you. All right, other stocks out there. I gave out SOL, which is another Chinese solar. Now, why am I into the Chinese stocks today? Essentially, the Chinese stocks are hot because over the last 2 days, the Shanghai index has rallied substantially. Therefore, you have to anticipate the beaten down Chinese solars. Look at the Chinese solar chart of SOL. I mean, that is a beaten down chart. Should get some upside potential. It should get a move to the upside. Exactly what it did today. And again, I still have this position in the open intraday stock chat. And I am in the money, and my entry was 167. It's at 172 right now with a nice chunk of shares there. I'll look to sell that by the end of the day, but nonetheless, it looks great to me. It probably heads up to the 50 moving average here on the daily chart. Now, some other charts out there. Let's take a look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan is up today about 64 cents. Your short-term target over the next week or so, my guess is right here. 200 moving average, pivot high. That's where it's headed. Goldman Sachs is having a good day today. Look at the gap above the 50 moving average. That's called a river theory, in the money stocks river theory. And sure enough, a beautiful move right there. All right, so a great little move right there, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Okay, it's a possible river theory with upside potential on Goldman Sachs, in my opinion, upwards of this point, right here at around 106, 107. Now, other stocks in motion today, we have Exxon Mobil, which is really flat on the day. Oil is having a decent day on the back of some more issues out of Nigeria this time, not out of Iran, but Nigeria. You can see Exxon started higher on the day and then rolled over. That's keeping the market a little bit on the more cautious side here. but nonetheless, you still have to favor the fact that it's slightly positive with oil up. It probably has a little bit of a neutral to upside bias to it in the afternoon session. Chevron is now negative on the day, which again is showing us weakness. These oil stocks definitely under some pressure, and we'll continue to follow them. Now, Apple Computer, let's take a look at Apple. Apple's up $1.63. Yesterday, it hit a beautiful double top on the daily chart. If you take a trend line right here, extend it out, you can see yesterday's daily chart hitting right there. Today, we opened higher near that level and then reversed, and that continues to tell us that Apple's at resistance up in this range. Okay? Now, again, this afternoon I am going to have more plays for the intraday stock chat. Come take the 7-day free trial to the intraday stock chat. Start making money with the pros. In addition, if you're a swing trader, if you're at work during the day, you can't really day trade, the Research Center is what's for you. Take the 7-day free trial to that. All right, let's go back to the SPY and just take a little gander at what's going on here. Now, the markets, again, you actually have an in spirit of bear flag here, and I just want to go over this pattern. You had a nice little uptick today. Early in the day, we hit the 129.50 level, which was the target. Then you fell off down, and this pattern here is an in spirit of bearish pattern. See the down move and then the sideways consolidation? The one thing I just would like to make you aware of is you have to be aware of the volume. Volume continues to be ridiculously light. We're talking about 77.5 million today. That's a little heavier than yesterday, but still along the lines of ridiculous, all right, in terms of light volume. So when you have light volume, you always have to be suspect on a bear flag playing out. Generally, whenever I have light volume in a market, I'll give it a neutral to upside bias. And that's the kind of outlook that I have right now for this, all right? So even though you have a bear flag, especially if you close above the 20 moving average here, you probably want to have a neutral to upside for the remainder of the day just based off of that. All right, let's take a look at a couple other stocks. Google today continues to be under pressure, just up 26 cents. This stock did come down and kiss the 50 moving average. That was my target I gave out in the Research Center nightly video last night to our members to look for that 50 moving average and for a bounce off of that. It did hit 616-ish, and it's all the way back to 622, so about a $6 bounce on Google. And again, that's a beautiful little sell-off right into major support. And again, you can see right here also, take this trend line right here and just drag it across from these pivot highs right here, and then you get that exact level as well. So a nice little move on Google, good reversal off the lows of the day on that GOOG. Baidu's having a good day today. Let's take a look at BIDU, up $6.50. Why is that up? Because it's exactly up based on what I said earlier. The Shanghai index is roaring back. We also saw some positive stuff about interest rates in China. China's going to start to kickstart their economy because of what's going on in Europe. That's going to be beneficial to China, probably get growth going again. And that's why the Chinese stocks should be really watched closely, especially the beaten down ones on the daily charts like these Chinese solars and some of the other ones. Another Chinese play that we called out today was SCEI, dead lows of the chart. Take a look at this chart. And again, a great chart setup for further upside in my opinion. My guess is it's going to go back to about the 150 level, maybe even back to the 200 up here, which is currently at around 185. And again, it has a little, needs a little time to go there, but I do think it will get there, especially if the Shanghai index continues to be in good performance mode. All right. I think that's about it for today, folks. Have a great afternoon, great evening. Come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Start profiting with the pros. Take the 7-day free trial to the Research Center and the Intraday Stock Chat. And again, step up, learn the proprietary techniques, get the trades that we give out, and start making money. Make 2012 the most profitable year of your life.